Welcome to another exciting edition of Studio Q. Today you are in for a treat. We are interviewing the Prince of Sophistication himself, Mr. Will Downing. He has a brand new CD out called Euphoria, and we're going to sit down and talk to him about his new album and everything else that's going on in his life. Stay tuned. Will Downing up next.
Studio Q show, now you know.
Well, I have been all entrenched in Will Downing's music. You know, you didn't make me feel all kinds of ways.
Hey, family show. It's family show. Keep it.
25, 26 years of music. Mm-hmm. I mean, come on. I mean, I might be here because of your music.
Like family show. Family show.
So I want to know, like, when you first started out, how difficult was it to be true to yourself when you had, you know, record executives telling you to change who you were, your sound, and everything?
Well, it was weird because I had big records overseas first. Yeah. I mean, we released it worldwide, but my bigger records came over in Europe. And so they loved one thing, the States didn't like another. So then the people in Europe were saying, okay, do another record like this record. And the people in the States were, don't do that nonsense, give us something else. So it was a very interesting way of recording. So that's why the records are so diverse. Like the first album I had, which was self-titled Will Downing, we had like dance stuff on there, like house stuff, and then it'd be house, and then you'd hear a smooth song, and you'd hear a jazz song, and then you hear another up-tempo song. So kind of hills and valleys.
But didn't like you have an argument with Chris Blackwell about?
Damn that internet! That one's supposed to get out. I'm under a gag order.
Yeah.
We can't talk about that sort of stuff.
But coming out with, you know, Will Downing with half the budget, like that's how much. I mean, what I'm just trying to zero in is the confidence that you had in Will Downing at such a young age.
Well, I certainly bet on me, and thank God I was right.
Yeah.
But yeah, I did have an argument with the president of the label at the time, and he wanted me to do like an all dance record because I had a big dance record in Europe, and I said, hey man, I want to do something else, and we kind of got into a nice exchange, and we exchanged unpleasantries, and might have been a couple of stupid ignorance in there, and
right.
Going back and forth. He says, okay, well, I'll let you do a record, but I'm taking half of your budget, and if you can make a record like that, then you got it. Then I guess you'll prove your point. Mm-hmm. And so I took the money that they gave me and I made a dream fulfilled. Back in 1991. So,
wow. Yeah. So I'm glad you bet on you.
I'm glad, always bet on black.
You've done so many songs by so many different artists. Mm-hmm. And what is the key to making a song your own? Instead of just duplicating the one before.
Well, I mean, it's easy to take a song and to remake it. To make it your own is tough. For me, and it's going to sound crazy, I have two things that I ask myself. One is, if I do a song by a female artist, I feel like I'm doing the male equivalent of what they're trying to say. So like a song like Angela Bofield's I Try. Sometimes women only think that they're the only ones who try in a relationship, but men do as well. So I give the male interpretation of that song. The other thing I look at is, in my mind, I can hear myself singing that song. Mm-hmm. In a different way, and those are my two reasonings as to why I do remakes and how I do them.
But women, you do songs that women have done. That seems very unique. Like with Angela Bofield, and doing it from a male perspective. Like you're just drawn to it. And
I mean, unless they're talking about getting pregnant or something like that. I mean,
say love is love.
Right, love is love.
Right.
We got me pregnant.
Well, maybe not.
Maybe I shouldn't do this song.
Maybe I could do that.
One less bell to answer, one less egg to fry, one less man to look after. Maybe I shouldn't do that one.
But that's cool that you can make your own interpretation and give us something new on an old classic.
Yeah, I think it's real important that you do that. If you're going to do a remake, please bring something to the table. Right.
Now, you've been on Sophisticated Soul. Mm-hmm. I'm with the Prince of Sophisticated Soul.
The Prince, the President.
On the label.
That's right.
Sophisticated Soul. And I'm sure it's a different experience being on an independent label. Do you ever regret leaving the big label?
At the moment, no. At the moment, I'm good. It's a lot more work, mm-hmm. but I'm good with it. I'm really good with it. It's something that I probably should have done a long time ago, but I'm fine with it.
What can you do now that you couldn't do then, that you really appreciate doing now, being an independent artist?
now I get to see what really happens behind the scenes, as opposed to someone calling to tell me what happened. And so, why didn't this record do well? Well, we did everything that we could. Man, they just don't like this. Da, 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 da. The vocal wasn't this, that, and the other. It could have been this, that, and it's like, why is it always my fault when things don't go well? But when things go well, it's something that someone else did.
Right.
So that bothered me a lot. So that's one thing that I can say, that I'm happy I'm independent and I get to see exactly what goes on. I form relationships with people, real relationships. They get to know that I'm a real person and not just an artist.
Yeah, because you're so talented. I mean, before we started this interview, you were doing the lighting.
Yeah.
Yeah. You've been having so many hidden talents that you could have been aiding in your career this whole time.
When you leave, I'm going to hit those windows. Get that Windex. Whatever pays the bills.
And all that you've learned since being in the industry for 25, 26 years, what would you tell a 19-year-old Will Downey?
Learn your craft. For a young up-and-coming artist, learn the craft. Don't just think. A lot of people now think that they can just turn the TV on and instantaneously become a star. It's like, if I can be one of the last 5 or 6 people on that TV show, then I'm a star. No, put in the work, sing background vocals, write songs, join groups, sing around, that sort of thing. So that's real important.
And you started off as a background singer.
Yeah.
What did you learn that has made you a better solo artist?
Everything.
Really?
Everything. I learned what to do and what not to do. Wow. I would watch the people that I'd be singing behind. I'd watch them, have great nights, the way they handled the crowd. And then I would watch them some nights have terrible nights. And I would say, okay, well, I'm not going to do that. I'm going to do that. Or I'm not going to wear that. I'm not going to do this. I'm going to, so you really learn that way at someone else's expense.
And probably just doing a really great show, too. Because
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then, being around for such a long time, you start to get a catalog of songs that people want to hear, and that always helps. So, people out there singing along with you when you're doing your thing.
Well, one of my favorite duets is the one that you did with Rochelle Farrell. How did that even come about, and what is it like singing with Rochelle Farrell?
Well, it's interesting because initially it was between me and Phil Perry as to who was going to be the other vocalist.
Oh.
Just one of those things, and somehow I won out. And singing with Rochelle was probably the hardest session I've ever done, but also one of the best sessions I've ever done.
What made it hard?
She had an exact idea of what she wanted.
Okay.
And she made sure that I gave it to her exactly the way she heard it. Now she was like, oh, no. We were doing a session and I sang something and she said, you need to sing it the way Will Downing would sing it. And I was like, I am Will Downing. That's the way I would. How did you hear me singing it? No, I need you to take a breath here and I need you to just like, oh, okay. And I thought it was crazy at first, but then when we heard the final product, I was like, damn, that sounds like Will Downing.
Wow. So did she really kind of pushed you in a different...
Yeah. We worked on that song literally for 2 days.
Wow. Is that like something that's out of the norm?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, I'm used to doing a lead vocal. A good one or a great one that I'm like, okay, I ain't got no problems with it, no regrets. About 3 hours.
Man.
Yeah.
So that was putting in some
2 days,
work.
like, oh, so when we come back tomorrow, like, tomorrow.
So if you guys had to do that just to record it, what was it like, when you guys performed it live?
We would take it to way out there. We would obviously do the song and then we would just go with whatever the emotion, kind of where it led us.
The way you felt that night. Well, you said songs and music are supposed to take you on a journey. It's supposed to transport you. Where do you go when you're on stage performing, or versus being in the studio?
It depends on where the audience takes you. If they're into it, it can really go anywhere. You take it left. If they wanted to hear the song exactly like the recording, they would have just stayed home and listened to the recording. So when it's live, you got to bring something new to the table.
And what is that feeling of being on stage with just a wonderful audience who's coming out to see you, sold out crowd?
Oh, what's it feel like?
Yeah.
It's the greatest feeling in the world.
Really?
When there's folks out there on your side. Yeah, there's no feeling like it. When you start singing a song and folks start singing along with you, it's the best feeling ever. You know that you did your job right.
And it doesn't get old.
Oh no, not like that.
Yeah.
No, it gets old when folks are sitting there and they got their hand like this and they're just looking at you like, okay, that same thing he sang on the record. Y'all ain't going. So.
And what's the difference between singing for people home versus like in Europe or overseas?
It's different. I'm not going to say that people here are less appreciative, but I think that people in America are very singles driven. So whatever they hear on the radio constantly is all they want to hear. When you go overseas, like, we've recorded 10 songs sometimes, or 12 songs on an album. They're into the other 10 or 8 songs that weren't singles. And we went to South Africa one time, and I had like my standard show, and I went on radio, and they were like, "Yeah, you gonna sing, song 4 off of CD number 5?" I said, "Yeah, which one is that?" And I looked at it, I was like, "Oh damn, I don't think I've sung this song since I recorded it." And they're like, "Oh, it's a big hit here." And I'm like, "You're kidding, right? You have got to be kidding."
Yeah.
And we had to learn the song that night. Actually, the first night we didn't do it, and people got mad.
Really?
And then the promoter came up to me and said, "Hey man, tomorrow, if you do this tomorrow, they're gonna tear this place apart if you don't do this song." So we had to learn it and do it.
Well, that must be a good feeling, because I don't think sometimes people realize just how much you put into your music. So the fact that people overseas really can appreciate that 9th or 10th song,
It is a good feeling. I mean, it's we spend lots of money on it. I put lots of work into it and to make it what it is, and it should be appreciated like that.
When you put out like yesterday, today, and tomorrow, what was the response of putting it out that way? Because I know you did it based on how people listen to music now.
It was funny. I mean, like, folks of my age weren't accustomed to hearing songs in increments like that. Like, basically what I'd done was 4 songs on each CD.
Right.
And my generation is not used to that. They're used to an album. But my thought process was based on the way, okay, what else you got? What else you got? What else? When you gonna put something else out?
Yeah.
So I was doing it every 3 or 4 months. So it worked in one regard, and in another regard it didn't.
Okay. Okay, I was wondering about that, because that was a unique way of doing it.
I thought so, yeah.
Yeah. Now, shifting gears, back in 2007, you were diagnosed with the muscle disease.
Let me hear you say it. Come on.
Okay.
Come on. Come on.
Okay. Polymyositis. Did I say it? Did I do it?
You.
Oh, I get the cigar
You
today.
did the cigar. That was. You did. You got it right.
Well, I mean, I just applaud you from coming back from something like.
Don't applaud me.
Applaud him. Yeah. But you had to stay connected to the source.
Oh,
you had to stay connected, because you could have let go. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You could have went another way, because I know depression is a part of it.
Oh, yeah.
And you have to fight not just a physical, but your mind.
It's a mental thing. Yeah.
But what I would like to know in connection to the music, when you were in the hospital, why was it so important for you to still record from a wheelchair or in the bed? Like,
I had to prove to myself, first off, that I can do it. Then on top of that, this is all I've ever done, really. So, and then the third thing is I thought it'd be the last thing that folks were going to hear, because I thought I was out of here. So I didn't want like the last recording to be like my legacy. I didn't want to leave here without saying something, that was really on my heart. And when you're being tested like that, and you land on your back, and you got plenty of time to think and talk, you kind of and reflect. You kind of go, you know what? Maybe I didn't really say what I wanted to say. So let this be my last testimony. I don't care really what it sounds like. Put the microphone down. Let me just do the best that I can and get this message across.
and how many hours are parts of the day that you would do that?
I can't even count them. I take those old sayings to heart. Tomorrow's not promised. And if you have something that's on your heart right at that moment, then do it. That's the joy of having your own label. I don't have to, another thing to add to your list. That's the joy of it. I don't have to go to someone and say, I have a budget to record. I got some ideas for some music. You got your own label. You got your own money. Just do it.
Yeah.
It's a YouTube generation. This stuff
It
turns
sure
around,
is.
you know,
So
by the
quickly.
time you put something out, you know, 3 weeks later, it's, oh, what you got next? So it's like, I give them something new. Why not?
Yeah. Are you even feeling the internet, Twitter, Facebook? Are you down with the technology,
I'm
or is
all
it a
over.
chore?
I'm all over. It is work. It is work. You know what I'm saying? Hey, I'm at the show and about to go on stage. And then someone replies, it's like, yeah, I'm going to sing this song. What are you wearing? Well, I'm going to wear, it's like, okay, can I go sing? I mean, you know, instead of me answering I'm in the bathroom.
See,
I just flushed.
He ain't down with the Twitter world. And what? You follow one person? Who is it? Team Jesus now? Yeah. Who tweet, like I said, Will Downing was following me. Not no more, but I did feel insulted because you didn't follow nobody.
Well,
You
I'm
said
learning.
it's too much work.
This is way too Instagram, you know. Somebody's over there, take a picture of me, put it on Instagram. Yeah, I am. Okay, I'm doing an interview. I just finished the interview. Now I'm changing my clothes to go do this. We're over here.
That's
like,
true.
When do I get to sing?
Yeah, that's true.
So when do you get to be the Will Downing that's popular, you know, to be on Twitter? So once again, balance.
Yeah, you need a Twitter person.
I need a Twitter person.
You need a Twitter person.
I got a Twitter person.
You know what I'm
too. I
saying?
got
So they
Twitter
can
people.
put your stuff out there.
Yeah.
Follow a few other people.
I gotta tweet them to tell them to tweet other people.
Yeah, right.
Tweet where I am so we can tweet and retweet. And
But I love the wind down that you
thank
do.
you.
That's
Thank you.
nice.
Thank you.
You said I'm gonna put some good music out there. I ain't not gonna complain about it. I'm gonna put some nice music that people can feel.
Exactly. I mean, and I'm a complainer. I'm a person that complains about the 30 or 40 records that I hear every day on your standard radio. So I said I'm gonna do my own radio show.
Yeah.
And play records that I think people have not heard or should hear more of.
And it's nice. I love it.
Thank you.
I love it. Well, now we have come to the Studio Q Will Downing lightning round.
Uh-oh.
So yeah.
Wait a minute, let me get my drink. Hold
Yeah,
on.
get your drink on.
And this ain't no
You
brown
know what I'm
juice either.
saying?
This is-
You know, it's rapid fire. It might stump you. I mean, you know what I'm saying? I don't know. We gonna see. So in this section of the interview, you just pick one or the other.
Okay.
Yeah, you don't even have to really think because it's catered to you. So
Okay.
you already know.
B.
Okay.
Chicken.
Brooklyn Borough Chorus or Wally Jump in the Criminal Element on Criminal Records.
We'll take Brooklyn Borough White Chorus for 200. Okay. You weren't even supposed to bring up Wally Jump Jr. and the Criminal Element. That was pre-solo career. So actually, those 26 years that I'm talking about is actually more like 30 years.
Okay.
Because I was recording before that, and I used to, for those who don't know, I used to make up these, I used to do 12-inch records, and we'd make up alias names. So I had a record on Criminal Records. And the name of the group, yeah, I know, called Wally Jump Jr. and the Criminal Element. And our biggest record was we did a remake of Gwen Guthrie's Ain't Nothing Going On But the Rent.
And y'all reply was,
Ain't gonna pay you one red cent.
but it was popular. It was huge overseas,
That
right?
was the most embarrassing thing. If you look at the album cover, we have on hats and dark glasses.
Oh,
that's
wow.
how you know ashamed we were. Like, oh yeah, we're gonna take a picture for the album cover. Like, yeah, let me get my hat. Yeah, let me put these glasses on. All right, let's go. Let's
Let me
shoot.
turn to the
Let
side.
me turn to the side. Yeah.
Well, whatever happened to the name MV?
They went the way of the dinosaur, I guess.
Okay. They went in the trunk, huh?
Yeah, I mean, we
Okay.
had a couple of singles out. You know, this was club music. You put out a record every 3 months, and we would just make up a name like NV. Table. What's the name of the table? What's the name of the group? Magazine. What's the name of that group? Controller. You know, whatever.
So it's Brooklyn Borough Chorus. That's
Brooklyn
what,
Borough
that's what
Chorus
you're
was
going
that
with.
one. Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Sad and So Distracted by Al Jarreau or John Coltrane's Love Supreme.
Sad and So Distracted, outro.
Okay. All right. Early mornings or late nights?
Can't hit both, huh?
Then it's not a lightning round.
Yeah, damn. Man, sound just like a woman. Early morning or late at night. Pick one. Us tomorrow.
You know what? I'm glad we on the internet.
Yeah, it looks like it's gonna be tomorrow. Maybe. Now, if it doesn't work tomorrow, can I get 2 late at night? We'll say early mornings.
Early mornings? All right. Okay. Will Downing's guilty pleasure. Great segue.
Guilty pleasure. Sports.
Sports.
I mean, watching sports, yeah.
Any particular sport?
Basketball.
Yeah. All right. Who's your team?
New Jersey Nets.
Okay.
Yeah,
all right.
I know. I know the folks out there. God damn.
Well, everybody
all the
has
teams
to have
in the
fans.
league, you know.
Everybody has to have fans.
Everybody has to have fan. You must stop making plural.
Yeah.
Singular. There he is.
Singular.
There's the fan.
All right. You only have the opportunity to record a duet with one of these following individuals. Okay. Layla Hathaway, Jasmine Sullivan, or Anita Baker.
Oh, dang. Man, that's a tough one. Man, that is a tough. I mean, woman, that's a tough one. My God. I'm gonna have to go with Anita Baker.
Wow. All right.
Mainly because she's the senior of the 3.
Yeah. They've emulated her. They love her. Yeah.
Well, kind of, sort of. Yeah. So
they love her.
Yeah, we love her. Yeah. I mean, they all 3 got their own vibe.
True.
But I mean, you picked one from the past, and you picked a President Jasmine and Layla, and the future is Jasmine, definitely.
Yeah. And okay, Anita Baker won that round.
Ding 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 ding.
Crazy Love by Dwight Thompson or A Million Ways by Joe?
A Million Ways by Joe.
Okay. Platinum record or Grammy award?
Platinum record.
Favorite curse word?
It has 4 letters. How about that?
Use your imagination.
It rhymes with puck.
Okay. It doesn't get any plainer than that.
There we go.
You know what I'm saying? R&B or jazz?
Man, you a tough interview. I'm gonna say jazz.
All right.
A little bit more freedom.
Okay. Now, the first word that comes to mind, you tell me what you feel, what you think that comes to mind. Luther Vandross.
Oh, ultimate.
Teddy Pendergrass.
Soulful.
Rochelle Farrell.
Amazing vocalist.
Audrey Wheeler.
Crazy. No. Wife.
Brooklyn.
Brooklyn. That's why you can say Brooklyn is home.
Okay.
Yeah.
Kim or Jaheim?
Kim.
Ledisi or Chrisette Michelle?
I'll take lead.
And
I feel like I'm picking sides for a basketball team.
I know,
Give
right?
me lead. I'll take lead.
And what makes Will Downing happy?
Talking to you.
Boy, he's a charmer.
Brooklyn in the house.
In the house. Now I'm Brooklyn at parties and in interviews.
That's right, and in the interviews. Springfield. That's an S. Yeah.
Well, how can all of your wonderful fans connect with you to go and get Euphoria?
Then come to the website, willdowning.com. You can order it there, and I'll autograph it and get it out to you. Or you can go to, if people still go to stores, Best Buy, you can order it on Amazon, you can download it on iTunes, all the outlets. It'll be at the barbershop probably 2 days before it comes out, the beauty salon. Yeah.
Right. Well, thank you so much.
Thank you.
For sitting down and letting us find out more about you.
You were good.
Oh, thank you.
I mean, you were really good.
Oh, good.
I don't like you. You too good. Them hard questions. My favorite word. Pop!
Well, you gotta do your homework for greats like yourself. You're a legend, man.
Thank you.
And you know what? Just off the top, like you said, when you heard Change by Luther Vandross, it just did something to what did it do to you?
I mean, I had never heard. It had all the elements of what I wanted to do. It was a dance record, but they had this dude who was just singing his whole behind off on it. And I never heard anyone that smooth on top of something that was so rough. And I was like, man, that's what I want to do. And I heard that guy's voice, and I had to sit there and all day. This is before the internet and stuff like that, and before I had access to radio warm lines. So I had to sit there all day because they didn't back announce who it was. So I sat there by the radio going, are they going to play that record again? And it finally came back on again. And then they said who it was. And then I had to figure out what he looked like. And then I went to a concert. And I think everyone was doing the same thing. Everyone heard the voice.
Yeah.
And this is before Luther was the solo artist, Luther. And they were doing a show. And then they started playing this song. You can see everybody in the audience like sit up on their chest like, okay, the guy's going to come out. And then this big, tall, big guy came out and he was like, that can't be him. And he opened up his mouth and was like, yeah, oh my God, that's him.
That's him.
Yeah,
that's him.
I was just floored.
Did you ever get a chance to meet and hang out with Luther?
Yeah. We knew each other.
Really?
Oh yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. That must have been a thrill.
It was for him.
I love it.
No, let me stop.
I love it.
No, that's
I love
that's
it.
my hero.
Love it. I love it. Who knew somebody so smooth could be so cool and funny?
ignorant.
Yeah.
So
ignorant.
What's going on? It's me, your man, Will Downing, and you're watching Studio Q.